So let me clear this now. And okay. Now, for those of us that are using the trial for 14 days trial, if you want to just continue using your Tableau desktop, you can just buy key on eBay, look for Tableau professional key, like $18 or so, or two people can come together, contribute $99 and buy a key and just share. It's still going to work, okay? You can.
Lucky, that's a key. It's usually for 1 year, right?
Yeah, it's usually for 1 year, but at least it gives you a lot of time to practice after the 14 days trial. And you can continue using your Tableau prep and your desktop. So you at least you get used to the normal Tableau environment. And for those that still have like student email, if you went to school in America, you still have the student email, you can get all Tableau products for free for 1 year with your student email.
No, okay. I tried it, and they want you to upload a document that has when you are graduating, you know.
Yeah,
if you don't have that,
just put a snapshot. Nobody look at that stuff. Just take a snapshot.
I did the same thing, but it didn't work.
Okay, that's what
the time is not on it, so they won't.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, but you can just get two people can come together and split. Danny and one other person is already sharing a key. Then two people can just come together, buy on eBay, and for example, if I come to eBay right now, a lot of people have their keys and they want to sell it, just auction it out. Tableau, professional key. You can see this person is selling his for $18. If you price it like $15, he will give it to you. You know. This one is also selling their key for 15. So people can buy, or you can just buy. $18 is not much, so you can have your key. All right. All right. And I'm going to need somebody to give me a worksheet of theirs. Those that have all of the calculations that we did. I lost my work and I can't go back and start doing this just to save time. So let me go back to this, okay? Our idea was to like combine our latest data and combine it with the data that we had before, more like updating our data. So I want to use Tableau Prep to smash those data together quickly, and so we can have up-to-date data. So I'm going to go here, and since I already have my sample Superstore, I'll drag in my order. And here I know that this is my order for the one that we have. I'm just going to say this one. And I said, have the habit of naming your file as you go along each step of your cleaning process, so that you can easily identify any file when you move far and you want to troubleshoot or look for where the error is coming. I'm going to name this less than 2016 because is it 16 or 17? What's the marks that we have in this data? Is it 2016 or 2017?
I believe it's 17.
Okay, 17, okay. And I'm just going to add this step. So it's loading my metadata. If I want to do any calculations from here, I can do it from here. But for now, I don't want to do any calculation. Like I said, if you want to do any calculation at all, you can do it here. If you want to regroup your data, each field, you're going to get here, okay? But for now, I just want to smash my data together and push it out, okay? So I'm going to call this one as well, order less than 2017. So I want to join this order with the latest data that we have. I'll bring that file, I'll connect to it, and I'll just drag this in as well. This one is my order 2, but I'll call it greater than 2017. Okay. Or I can just say 18. So it doesn't matter, but know what to name your data. Or the 2018. So now for me to combine these two, last time I said, if you have the same structure of data, but of different time period. For example, if you look at the row ID here, we have row ID here, order ID, everything is the same, but it's just that they have different time period. So for you to join your data, combine them, you have to do a union. A union is like putting two data on top of each data. It's like block of data on top of block of data. So you can view the time, have like a trend of that data or a continuation of that data. That's what union is. But let's say I want to combine these people here. For example, I want to combine this people table here. I want to combine this and this. I can't do union because this is just a different structure of data and this is different. So the best thing for me to do here is to do what? Hello, newbies, please speak up. Don't be afraid. What's the best thing for me to do in this kind of scenario? Taba?
Yes, sir.
What's the best option if I want to combine, let's say, this data and this kind of data here?
Join?
Yeah, join. Okay, you just join this to this. But in this scenario, this and this are the same structure, but they have different time period. So we want to like union this together so we can see the trend in the data. Okay. I hate this McAfee. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to come here and put this as union. And Tableau will smash the data together for me. And by default, you're going to have this table name here. This is just to tell you each file of data. Sometimes this field here is relevant in some cases, but in this case, I'm sure I'm going to need it. Okay, so I'm just going to like, in this place here, I'm just going to remove it or just leave it, but I can just remove it for now, for me. And I'll now add another step here. So this is a continuation of my data. So if I come here, for example, look at this order date here right now. You can see we have 2018 up to 2023. But if I come here in this one, which is less than 2017, you can see that we only have the max of 2018, January 2018. We don't have 2023 data here. But if I come to this one here, look at the order date we have for 2023. So now if you look at the combined data, you see we have everything in one place. That is union for you. So in an interview, if they ask you in what scenario do you use union and join? What will you say, Nadia?
When you're trying to join data together?
Yeah, yes, but when do you use union and join? Now, join in this case, if it's outer join, inner join, or left join, doesn't matter. Join is join. So in what scenario will you use a union and a join?
I think union will be when the data set is exactly aligned, is the same, and join is when the data set is different.
Absolutely, yeah. You use union when the data structure is the same, but it might be of different time period or different location. Let's say I want to combine sales from Atlanta, combining to sales in Texas. If you are pulling that data from a CRM, let's say Salesforce, the structure is going to be the same, but you're going to have like different file for different states. So you want to combine those data together, you're going to use union. But if the data structure is not the same thing, but there is a relationship between the data, in this, for example, this one here, the structure is not the same thing, okay? But the relationship between this file and this one here is what? Is what? The area, which is the region. Okay, the region here and the region here is the relationship, but the data structure is not the same thing. Like as you can see, we have so many fields here, so many fields. Okay, we have so many fields here, but in this one right here, we only have just 2 fields. But the users might want to see, okay, who is the manager for each of this region? But here, we only have manager and region, but here we only have just region. So for you to identify the managers in this region, in this file, you have to join this and this using the relationship. Again, understand, if you want to write this down, please write it down. Okay.
So if he has if he has a relationship, you join.
Yes.
Okay.
But now, again, let me take your question back. These 2 files here have a relationship. So you have so many relationships. Row ID is there, row ID is here, other ID is here, other ID is here. So all of the table here is a relationship. But the structure here, if you can see, is the same thing with the structure. Like the role ID, other day, ship date, everything and so on is the same. But the difference is that it's a different time period. So this one is from 2014 to 2017. This one is from 2018 to 2022. That's just the difference, but the file structure is the same thing. So it will not be advisable for you to join this. Remember I said when you join, like you are putting this, I showed this to you guys on the other day. When you join, it's like you are elongating the number of fields that you have. Let's say here in this file, we have 20 fields. If I join with this, and this one has 20 fields, this one has 20 fields. If I join using either inner join, left join, or outer join, how many fields will I have? How many fields will I have? 40 fields, because I'm joining them, so I'm like elongating it. But if I do a union, I'm still gonna have that 20 field, but I'm combining each rows of this data. I'm combining each of these, I'm combining both the rows and the columns of the data. Do we get it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So if you want to write this down, they might ask you, when do you use a union? When the data structure is the same, but it might have different time period or different location, then you use union. For join, the data structure are not always the same, but they have a relationship for you to join, then you join. Okay? All right. And I'm not going to...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
When we say relationship, that's the data structure are the same. They have the same, like maybe like other ID and other ID.
Yes.
Okay, then for the union, I thought the data structure is also the same.
Can I explain it? Can I explain it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for union, for example, you have 2 apples. Apple is apple. Apple has, say, if you divide it into 2, it has the seed inside it. So to join those 2 data, the 2 apples, you put them on top of each other to join. They are the same. They have the same structure. When you open it, there is the apple seed, there's the apple flesh, there's the skin. But for join, you can join apple and orange together. They are not the same, but they are fruits. They have seed. That's the apple seed. Apple has seed. Orange has seed. That seed is the one that will form the relationship.
Okay.
They don't have the same structure, but they have something that you can use them to tie them together, which is the
Okay.
seed. So
Okay.
you can join different data from different places, but they must have a relationship. But to union, they must have the same structure. So to union, you're putting them on top of each other, like you're stacking them on top. Why to join? You're putting them like
Side by side.
inside each other.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Victor, is the same thing or the same logic with SQL query? You know union and join in SQL query, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same logic. There's no difference.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that in SQL, you don't see the GUI like we see here. You are just writing the query. But here, you're actually just seeing what you are putting together or how they are joining.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So I'm going to call this 2014 to 2022, for example. And I'm just going to say, okay, I want to write this. This is my complete data, smashed together, no logic apply. Like I said, if you want to write any calculation here, you can. For example, say I want to write my calculation of cost of goods sold, which I showed last week. And I don't want to write it at the report level. You can write a calculation here, or you can still wait and just write it at the report level. But if you're going to be writing a lot of queries, a lot of calculations, you can just do it here so you don't overwhelm your Tableau desktop with so much calculation. It's up to you, okay? For example, if I want to write a calculation for this field here, I'm just going to let's call this one cost of goods sold again. It's an example. Now here, remember at the Tableau level, if I'm to write a calculation like this, I have to use sum. I have to sum everything together. But here, I'm not going to do the sum. I'm just going to do it. What was the formula again? This was sales minus.
Plus discounts minus.
Okay. Now, and I said our formula might not be, it's not going to be applicable, but you have to understand how your organization is computing their whatever, okay? Is it plus profit, minus profit?
Minus profit.
Okay, minus profit, okay. So this would be my cost of goods sold. So if you look at this right now, you're going to be here for you and you can keep writing calculations, or let's say you want to count how many customers do you have, okay? And you don't want to do it at the Tableau desktop level. You can still do it here as, okay, number of customer. Okay, and here, if I do count D here, and I do customer here, you can see I'm getting error. But let me show you guys something quickly. I'm opening on my Tableau. Where's my Tableau? Where's my Tableau? Where's my Tableau? And let me connect to my file, for example. Where is that file? So if I bring this in here, come on, And I want to count my customer here, for example. If I do, let me call this number of customers, for example. If I do count the customer ID or name is the same, you can see it's valid. And if I bring this here, and these are the number of customers that we have. But why is it giving me error here, counting customer? Now you have to understand the difference between data source level and reporting level. In reporting level, Tableau have already aggregated most of this data here for you. For example, if I bring in sales here right here now, Tableau will aggregate that sales for you as sum. It will sum it up by default. But at the data source level, now not just Tableau, whether in SQL Server or any type of data source, you will have to write, there is no, if I bring in my sales right now, they're going to give me all of each of the rows of the sales because we are at the data source level. So for me to do my count at this level, I have to use a level of detailed calculation by telling Tableau to like, okay, fix my customer, for example, and count the customer, either one. So let me remove this one here. So now I can see Tableau knows how to compute my calculation because we are at the data source level. So when you are doing calculation at the data source level, like in Tableau prep, just understand these two behavior. And it's applicable to any kind of reporting tools, whether Domo, ClickSense, Power BI is the same thing, okay? These are just the behavior of data. When you are even in SQL query, for you to get your aggregate, you have to group by to say, okay, give me this sum and group it by this measure for you to get your aggregate. So what Tableau does that for you here, but in the database, you have to understand this different behavior. If you don't understand this database behavior, then don't do your calculation here. Just do it at the Tableau desktop level, which is here, which is a lot simple. Okay, for a very long time, I was doing my calculation here, and there is no harm in doing it here. But if you have to do it here, understand some of this data behavior, okay?
So after doing it here, and if you now move it to the desktop, the calculation will now appear among the dimension and measure.
No, it's just going to be a data source because right now you are doing your computation, your calculation at the data source level. At the reporting level, it's going to appear like this. You don't have to, you're going to show count of customer as a data field.
Okay.
So you don't have to calculate again. Once you drag it in, it gives you your total aggregate.
Okay.
Yeah. So here I'm going to like add an attribute for now, and I'll call this 2014 to 2022. Okay, I can configure where I want to save it. I want to put this in my database for now. I'll put file, no, database. And you're going to ask me for my connection. I want SQL Server. And I need to connect, add my credentials. So here I need to open up my SQL. Where's my SQL Server? Now, I said again, in real life, they will give you the credentials for your server. That's where you need to enter your company credential is what you need to log in. And again, let me say this, you are not, chances are, about 80% chances are that you will not be writing your data to your database. You will be mostly likely to write your database, your data output to Tableau server. Now we don't have Tableau server here, so I might not be able to show that to you, but it's the same process. Let's say I want to publish this data to my Tableau server for me to use. I'll come here and click on publish data source. So if I click here, you're going to open this stuff for me, say sign in. Now I will have to enter my company Tableau server address here, and you're going to click connect, and it will tell you to enter your credential that is given to you by your company. Enter it, it will take you to your Tableau server, and then you can choose any folder where you want to publish that data source and just publish. Okay, that's all you have to do. Do we get it? But we don't have Tableau server here, and we don't. There's no way for us to get our Tableau server. Only company have that, unless you want to start paying monthly, or you can get yours. Okay. Any question? Okay. So in this case, let's assume this database is our server, and I want to publish this data to Microsoft SQL. I'll get my credentials by coming here and copying. Okay, this is my login name, and I'll enter my server name here and click sign in. So here I will have to choose, like I said, you will have to choose the folder where you want to sign in, and I already have my Superstore data here. Where is okay? And it's going to ask me to select a name. I call this. Let me replace this. Now remember, the one that we had before is only for 2014 to 2016 or 17 thereabouts. So for me to update this data to have up-to-date data, I can just say replace this. So I'll just say, I'll click on that table and say, okay, replace what I have there before. Okay. And you can also say, okay, don't replace it. I want you to append this data to what we have there before. So Tableau will take this data and add it to what we have before. But for me, I know that if Tableau appends to what we have there before, I'm going to have duplicate because we already have this same data there. So I'm just going to change this. Okay, this is for the refresh. You can just leave this, but just set this to like create table. Okay, I want this to create a new table. Just replace what I have here before. So now I'm done with this flow here. Now I still have to do the same thing for my people here. Let me remove this one here.
Have you run down?
No, I don't. I want to run everything at once.
Okay.
I don't want to be running them little by little. Okay. So I'm going to come here and bring in my people table here. I'll call this one people less than 2017. Add a step. Call these people less than 2017. And I'll come to my other file by clicking here and bringing the people here as well. This will not be people greater than 2018. Add a step. People greater than 2018. So I also want to union these two together because the manager here might have changed. Okay, the manager here, maybe somebody got sacked and they got replaced. So I'm not going to like for now do a union. So we have all the data, and if I click here as well, this is my outcome. Where is this match together? And you can also preview your result here. If there's any mismatch, you will see it here, okay? And okay, I'll add the step here. Okay. I need to remove this table name. I don't really need it. I'll just remove this. Okay. And I'll call this people.
Okay, my own is showing two mismatch.
Huh?
Having two mismatch.
Then check it. What's the mismatch? 2014 to 2016. Check it. It will tell you what is mismatch, what the mismatch are. And I'll call this people. And okay, let me just rename this here. I'll call this order. Let me not confuse. Okay, this is my order attribute, and this is my people. Now I'm coming. Now I'll show something here where Tableau prep can be a little bit complex, but it's very easy. But let's finish with this. Then I can show you that scenario. So I'll do. Now I need to join my return as well. So did I configure this? No. So I want this to be in my database. SQL Server connects. I want to select my database to be what's it called? Superstore data. And now I don't have this table before. So this is going to be a new table. So I'm going to call this people. Okay, click on that people, and this is configured, and I'm done. Now I want to add the last person here. I want my return here. Because of time, let me just run through this. So because I want also everybody to get their data done so we can move on. I'll bring in my return here as well, but always have the habit of naming it, okay? And let me do a union on this. No, union. I'll just do a clean step. Now I need to view the attribute here. So let me remove the table name. I don't need the table name. And add an attribute. And now call this return. Okay, let me configure this. Database, SQL Server. And I want this in my Superstore data. Yeah. The table name, I've not created any table name for this. Okay, do we have return before? Okay, maybe, yeah, okay, I'll just call this return. I'll click on returns. And I want you to just create a new table. So now I have all my data joined together. I'm ready to run everything. Now, Dada was saying, if I have run it, if I just run it one by one, I will have to be running everything one after the other. But since I've configured everything, there's no error. If there's error, you're going to see it on top here where it says alert. So I'm just going to come up here and say run offload. And so it's asking me because I have these two tables in the database before. So it's asking me, do you want to replace? He just wants to be sure, you know. I'll say replace, and it shouldn't take long. And our attribute is done. So if you come to the database right now, let me refresh the database, come to my table, come to this database and to table. So we now have our order, we have our people, and we have our return, okay? So this is good. Now, what if your manager says, okay, we have this file coming in every time. So if the file keep coming, we want you to create a flow for us to concat this data together and pass out as an output. But we also want you to create one file in Tableau server that combine all of this together. So instead of you doing join at the Tableau level, like we did before, where we join our data, they just want you to just do your join at this prep level here and publish as one single data source on the server or anywhere. But they also want you to keep this flow so that when you have new data, you can just refresh this or add union to this data and just publish out. Now, there are two ways to do it. You can either save this flow on its own and then go and create another connection to this data that you have here and just join everything together. Or you can say, I want to just simplify my flow and make one flow. So how do I join all of this together now? Okay, here is where joining comes in. So for me, I don't want to break this my output here. I want this to always refresh my data whenever I have new data source. Maybe we have from 2023 to 2024. I'll just bring that file in here, create a step like we did here, and just add that data to this. Maybe I will create a data source for on Thursday to show that to you how that works. Just join into this and just go run your flow. You don't have to do anything again because everything that you've done here is already in this mapping. But for me to join all of this data together as one and publish on our Tableau server or anywhere, I will just come here, click here and add another step. Okay, I will call this order. And I will come to these people here. I'll create another step here. I will call this people. So now I want to join this with this together. I will just drag this up here and say join. So now by default, this is going to do inner join. So I can come to my join here. Now you can see Tableau is having error. It says join error, join step is missing a join condition. Why? Remember, I did some manipulation just to show you guys join logic here. In this data here, this area here is called what? Region. Okay. Sometimes data might be the same, but have different name in different files. Sometimes the name are the same. So I purposely did this. Here, this field here called region, but here is called area. Do we remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it can come that way, but you just have to know your data that, okay, area here is the same as region here. Now, because Tableau is not finding the same field in these two files, so it's confused. So it's waiting for you to manually join your data. So for me to join this data, I have to come here and say, okay, in my ordered data here, click add. My region is the same as my area. Do we get it? So you can see right now, everything is mapping together. So some data might not carry the same heading, especially if they are not coming from the same CRM system or data source. For example, one data source might have region 1, while the other one have region 2. So Tableau sees a difference of 1 and 2 here, so it will not join for you. It will let you use your own intelligence to do your join. But if the fields are the same, like region, Tableau will join together for you. You also have to be careful. Sometimes you might have region here and have region here, but the data is not really the same. Just because they are the same field title or the same field name does not mean they are the same. You have to be sure that the data in there is the same data in that field. question? Hello? Hello? Any question? You guys are not, do we get it? Okay.
I
Okay.
would appreciate if you go through
Okay.
the
Okay,
last
so
part.
in this place now, region, I'm going to say, okay, let me say Georgia, Texas, and New York. Okay, and now let me say sales, 10, 20, and 30. So this is data one, okay? So we have region, and this is the sale. And I have another file that I want to join together. So here I have region, okay? And I have sales. And here I have 1, 2, 3. And my sales here says 80, 20, 30, for example. So just because I have region here and I have region here, can we join together using this region field here? If I want to join these two data sources, can I join this with this?
No,
Why?
because the region name is different. That one have
No, the
state.
region is the same. The region is this, the field title here
Right, the
is
title
the same.
is the same.
Okay. But the
But
data,
the name
what?
of the regions differs.
Exactly. This data here is a whole number. Okay. This is a number, but here it just is different. So just because they are the same field name does not mean you can join with it. If you join this data, Tableau will say it will give you correct joining, but you're not going to get anything. All your data will be blank because this data here and this is different. Okay, do we get it?
Yes.
Now let me open area, New York, Texas, and Georgia. And let me see profits here, and 50, 41, and 30. So here, can I join this sheet 3 and this together?
Yes,
Why?
because the regions are the same, even though the name of the region, the types of regions are the same.
The name of this
The
field is
name,
different,
yeah,
but the data in there is the same
the
with
same.
this, even though
Mhm.
the field title is not the same. Do we get it
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay, who doesn't understand that? I mean, it's straightforward anyway. I'm going to start. Nadia, do you get it? Is Nadia here? Okay. Susan, do we get it?
Not really.
Okay. No, let me save this and go. I want you guys to understand this, okay? Because let me save this and browse and go to Tableau and show you guys something. Let me just save this as tests on my desktop. Okay, so let me go to my Tableau and open a new instance. Oh, no. New. Let me connect to that file that we created. Desktop, tests, and Okay, now I have this file here. I want to build a report. Okay, so I bring in my first file. I can see the field Georgia, Georgia, Georgia. And I want to join this file with this other file together. So I bring this here and I just drop. You can see what Tableau is telling you. Even though Tableau senses that the region in this file is the same thing with region here, was giving error. So let's click out and let's look at what, if you hover over the error, it's going to tell you that type mismatch between field, blah, blah, blah. Now it's saying the other file is a string, while the other one is a number. Even though the region here is the same, the field have region here and it has region here, but the data type is different. Again, if we come here, sheet 1, we have string, which is states. But in this sheet 2, we just have number. So it's not going to join, even though the field is the same. But if I remove this one here, let me remove this and bring in sheet 3 and drop here. Now, Tableau is still confused because Tableau is looking for the same field name. He didn't see it. But now I have to tell Tableau, don't worry, in this field here, region here is equals to area in this place. You can see that my data is joined together. So what we're trying to say is that the field name doesn't have to be the same all the time. It can be different, but you just have to know the field and make sure that the data in those fields are the same. Okay. If you look at this one right here, the type of data here is just number, but the type of data here is alphabetical number. No, sorry. Is it alphabet? Yes, alphabet. Alphabetical data. Sorry, my brain is boiling. Okay, so do we get this?
Yes.
Yeah, if we don't get it, don't worry. We're going to do more example. I'm going to give you guys some homework so you can really track your brain. But it's very simple. Just understand when you join the data together, okay? So let's go ahead with and finish up with this. I have 7 minutes, so you guys can do your work. So now I've joined this here. Now I also want to join these returns with my data here. So I need to create another clean step for this. But first of all, I need to look at this data. How am I going to join? Why is this displaying this way? Did I click on metadata? Oh, okay. You see, I click on metadata here. That's why. Okay. All right. Pardon me. So if I click, if I go back to this return table here, you can see we have this field here. Okay. This is just to show if the order was returned. So we have all of the order here that was returned. So order ID. Now I can join this field here with this, but I need to also make sure that the order ID in my order is the same order, the same thing here, because we only have 2 fields here, which is return, yes. So we don't have return in this data. But we have the order ID, which is every order that was ordered but returned back to the company due to some reason, whether the company, the purchaser didn't want the product again, or there was defects, whatever reason. So I need to look for my order ID. So I can see that my order ID here is this same thing here as my order here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and join. I'll call this return. I'll drag this one here up, just drag it up and add this. I should be able to add it to this. Let me say join, for example. Normally, I should be able to add this to this. Let me see. Okay, it's not letting me. All right, so let me remove this. I don't like doing my work this way. So I'm not going to add a step here for now. And I'll call this order plus people, because I've already joined the people to this order here. And then I'm going to bring this table here and join this. I want to join this to this. So you can see by default, Tableau senses order table and order table. Now here is where I want us to pay attention. By default, Tableau will give you inner join. Okay, so if I do my inner join, this file here is my returned item, the item that we are returned. So if I do my inner join here and I create my output to say, okay, output this join together. Let me add a clean step first in case I need to do any cleaning. Okay, and now let me add an output. If I output this data here, what am I outputting? Let's go back to this join. Here is where I want you guys to think about when you're doing join. Remember, inner join will always bring in what? The matching value from here and here. Any value that are not matching based on our join criteria is going to exclude them, but it's going to be null. So if we do inner join in our return table here and with our order table, what will be the result of our output? This might be some technical question they might ask you in your interview. If you meet somebody who is really into Tableau, if I do inner join, I'm only bringing all of the return item here and where the information for the return item here. So my output will only be the return matching value. So any order that was not returned, I'm not going to see it in my data because I'm bringing in where inner join, where the return is equal to my order and the managers. But if I want to bring in everything in my orders, or bring in the matching value for my return, I will have to come here and change this to what? Hello? I will change it to my, okay, for example, now I'm doing inner join. If I scroll down and look at my results, you can see that in my order table, it excluding 36,000 records. So it only bringing in 3,000 records and it's bringing in all of the return data. So all of this excluded here, these are the orders that we are not returned. So what I'm having is going to be only the return. That's because I'm doing inner join. So if you are looking for only matching record only, do inner join. But if you are, again, that's why I said, get used to doing left join. For example, I know that my order table here is here, and I want to get all my order records. I will do left join and bring in all of the matching value from the return table. So you can see now that I have all my record, nothing is being excluded, and I'm still having all of my return record. So this can be some kind of issues that you might have when you build a report and they're saying, oh, we can't see this value, we can't see this data, we can't see this. Just go and check your join criteria. If you are doing inner join, that might be your problem. Okay, and let's say you don't even know what to do and they are complaining, this data is not here, this is not here. Just do full join. Let them figure it out themselves. This is lazy man work.
That's a lot of no.
You know, yeah, you're going to have a lot of nulls, but you can just exclude your nulls with, if not, give me true or false, you know. But again, you'll get used to doing left join where your left data is your main data that you want to focus on, okay? So now I have all of this data. Now, if I run this flow again, I'm going to have all of this data combined here, and I'm going to have all of the tables separately. Now, if you are new to Tableau Prep and you look at this flow that we built here, you say, I don't know what this is. It is very simple. It's just like different stages of data connection and different outputs. And we've not even done any kind of logical join yet. So because I've run all of this one now, I'm just going to run this one here. Let me configure this. And instead of me putting this in my, I can also put this data in my Tableau, in my SQL. But if you are doing this kind of join in real life, chances are, again, 80% of the time, it's going to be on your Tableau server where you just want to have your data. But in this instance, let's say we want to publish this as a file, and I want to publish this one as my, let me browse location, and I want to put this in my Tableau training. I will call this Superstore Combine. Superstore Combine, I'll call this 2014 to 2022. Now, this is going to be Tableau data extract. If you publish your data as a Tableau data extract, only Tableau can use that file. No other system can use it. No other BI2 can use it. But if you publish as, let's say, Excel, or you put in your database, other data source can still use it. Okay? So if I run this right now, so if I come to my tab, my folder, let me sort this by date modified. So you can see the output. So I can now go to my Tableau and say, okay, connect to that data source. I want, let's go to the data source. Where is my file? Tableau training, and so this is my file. I click on this and click open. So this is my file. So I don't need this. Let me remove this Superstore, for example. Let me close this. I don't need this. So now I have my file. If I bring in my other date right now, so you can see we have 14, 15, 16, 17, 29, up to 22. So you've updated your data and you can start building your reports and so on. So this and this might be the same. I just truncated the year just to show us some stuff. Okay, so you have your data. Any question?
So, look, why don't you publish on this? Why don't you publish on the database?
You can. I'm just showing you varieties of ways. You can put yours in the database. You know, had it been maybe I need to get I need to see if I can get Tableau server, because I don't feel I need it. That's why I haven't really looked into that. But I'll try and get Tableau server. But the same way you publish to your SQL database or publish is the same way you publish to your Tableau server. It's the same process. But at work, chances are you're going to be publishing to your Tableau server, and 90% or 80% chances are that you will not publish to your database because companies have their own database admin and developer. So all you're going to be doing is pulling data from your database into your report and then doing your report from there. Any question? Okay, everybody get to work, build your flow, and because I still want to show us some other stuff in the database, like the SQL, the basic SQL query, how to like query your data a little bit, bring a custom SQL into Tableau to pull your report. When you're doing your interview, the recruiters want to hear is your experience in pulling data into your report, your Tableau, you know. We're going to discuss that in more in-depth. So far, how many ways have we bringing data? Either we use Tableau Prep to pull our data together, publish to the database, and pull our data from the database, or we can also write this into this on this server as a Tableau data source and pull. But I'm going to show us like custom SQL, how to use a custom SQL. But let everybody do this for now. Okay, build your flow. It's very easy, step by step. Before you know it, you will have your full data. Same thing that we have here. And will it be okay if anybody share their screen while they are building and then others can follow? Is that Amola here? I know our time here and his time difference doesn't really favor him, you know, but I think it's still working. All right, so let's get to work. If you have any question, please ask. Who's going to share their screen? Who is going to share their screen? Okay, I'm going to call a name. Martis, can you share your screen?
Not yet, sir. This is a bit mathematical. I need to take my time to.
It's very straightforward.
Yeah, it should. Like, I just think I need more time to watch the video over.
Okay, who's ready?
Yes, sir.
For those that won the launch on last week Friday, when you're ready for it, let me know. Okay, we give our prizes. But Medina, are you ready for this? Can you share your screen?
No, sir, I don't have the key yet.
Okay, but you're supposed to get the 14 days trial. It didn't work?
Yes.
Why? What is wrong? What happened?
I know a lot of people will laugh at me today. It's going to be in the recording. I have not been able to do the to download the Tableau Prep Builder.
Is it because of your system or Tableau didn't
Yes.
allow you to?
Yes, it is my system.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
So who's going to lead? Yomi, can you lead? Is Yomi here?
Yes, I am, sir.
Yeah. So can you lead?
Okay, I could give it a go.
It's not mathematical. We've not even done anything here, any calculation. It's just for you to smash your data together. Okay, we are trying to smash our data together and just make it one data source and also keep a copy of the original in our database. Okay, so here, this is your first order, right? the old one.
sir.
So name it so that, again, if you don't want to name it, it's fine, but I will advise always name your data as you pass on each cleaning step. So go to clean one and just name it.
You are naming the wrong one. Abi?
This is the first data,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, just go ahead. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead. So as long as you know what you're doing. You can educate the class as you go along. So explain what you're doing so they can hear you.
Okay, so I'm trying to link the other data you sent to us now. No, this is the first one. So I picked, no, I'm sorry, I think I picked the wrong one. Okay, this one. Other. So I'm going to name this too. And then I'll rename the clean as well. That's on 2018. And I think I'm to do my first join now. Union. This table name, you said we can make do without this one. So then I go to people, back to my first data, people, I'll rename people less than 2010. Same thing, I'll rename as well. Than 2010. Then I'll go to the other data, people, I'll rename as well. Oh, sorry. People after 2018. Then I'll join, I'll union this as well. Okay, again, I can take out the table. Then I'll go back for the returns. Returns. And then I union this as well. Okay, so from this point, I'm sorry. Okay.
You're doing well.
Thank you, sir. I think I have I saw 0 mismatched fields. Okay. Yeah, so next thing will be to save, but there may be a little problem because I still have the issues with my MS SQL server. So I'm not sure how to proceed from this point.
Yeah, but for now, you can just publish, add future data as either CSV or Excel. Or you can even do Tableau hyperfile, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so continue. No, you have to add a step to view your result of the join. So click on that little plus in front of your join. Add a step, yep. And now you see below is running your output. So it's showing you your result. And here, if you need to do any further cleaning or grouping or calculations, you can. But for now, we are not doing that for now, okay? So you can just click on always add a step before you bring out your output. In case you need to adjust anything in the future, you don't have to look for a step again, okay? This is my way. Once you get comfortable, you have to do it your way, okay?
Yes, sir.
So in front, that little plus now in front of your clean one. No, the plus in front, the plus. So click on there and click on your attributes. So this is where you tell Tableau Prep that you are ready to push out your data that you joined. So here you have to configure where you want to put your data, okay? So if you go below, yeah, this is where you configure. So you see you don't have SQL Server yet. So I'll just say click there. You can either do data source or you can do file, okay? But for now, if you want to do database, you just choose database. So you don't have SQL Server, leave it as file, just leave it as file. Okay, leave it, so click out. Just click on your attribute again. Up. You can move your preview pane up a little bit. Drag the edge up, yeah. Drag it up so you can have some space to see. Now, in your location, you see the attribute type where it says attribute type. Since you are using Tableau, you can just choose Tableau Hyper, or you can also do CSV or Excel. So in this instance, let's do Excel for you for now. So click on that drop down. You can click Excel or CSV. Either one, it will work. So now go back to your browse, where it says browse on top. Here is where you tell Tableau where to dump that data for you. So you can give your file a name, give it like a custom name, and go choose a folder or file to put your data. So don't always leave it as attributes, because attribute does not really mean anything. But by default, Tableau Prep will say attributes, but always name it to say order date from this period or something custom to identify your file in the future. Okay, now don't run it yet. I want you to get used to running everything at the same time. So go and configure for your place, your people, and your return.
Yes, sir. Is it the in terms I should have renamed or the outputs?
Which one?
Okay, I wanted to be sure the renaming stops where I stopped renaming.
Where you stop renaming?
Okay, like this claim one, was I supposed to have renamed it?
Yeah, you can rename, but for because of our time, just continue, but you can rename.
Okay, sir.
Now, do anybody see any problem so far?
There's a red triangle there.
Huh?
There's a red triangle.
A red triangle here.
Okay, a worksheet name is required. So click on your configuration. Maybe you didn't click. Yeah, okay.
You haven't named what you want to save it as.
No, scroll down. No, that one is good. That one is good. Scroll down and see on your worksheet, because in Excel, you can have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So just say order 2022 or whatever. Just give it a name and click on that. So that should fix that.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, but with our data, the one in the people, there is a problem. I expect somebody to see that. But if you don't see it, continue. We fix it. Yeah, it's a gift for anybody that sees it.
He has the same name.
What name?
People 2018. People 2018.
No, that's not. In the data, it said just an issue. But just continue configuring it. Whoever see the problem have a gift. For Yomi and Nadia, when you're ready to redeem your lunch or dinner, just text me.
Thank you, sir. Worksheet.
Dada, can you see the error?
Region and area.
Exactly. There's no gift for you, Ejiro.
I know.
Just
Will you
speak yours.
So they can see that even though the union works well, but the region and the area did not union. That's because there is no region in the other file and there's no area in the other file, even though the people union properly. So how do
but it can quickly correct it here now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how do we fix that?
So you click on clean 2. That bar, clean 2. That purple bar.
Purple bar. Okay, right here, clean 2.
Click on it.
Okay.
No, that's not where you fix it.
So there's a place that calls edge. Okay, so when you have that area 5 on that one.
If you want to fix it here, all you have to do is like you combine the two rows.
Say that again, sir.
If you want to fix it here, you
drag that one.
Yeah, just drag this into this.
Drag that one into drag area to region. Yeah, drag it. Just click on that area. Click on it. And drag it and leave it there.
Oh wow. Okay.
But for me, I don't like doing it this way. This one way. For me, I will just go to my go either to 2018, for example. No. People 2018.
Okay.
No. The step in front. The step. The step people less than 2018.
Okay, right here.
Yeah. Go in here. Just click. So okay, I see here I have region here, I have region here. So I can either rename this here to area, or I go to the second one. You want minimize. Go to the second one, and or rename this to region. Either way, it's up to you.
Just double click.
Now remember, because you might be adding to this data as time goes on. You don't want anything that you have to like be doing manually all the time. So just fix it at one level and let it just continue.
Yes, sir.
So if you go back to your step, the union click on your union 3.
Okay, 3. Okay.
Yeah, click there. And now if you
didn't do the renaming properly.
No, click on the changes. Yeah, it's okay.
No, go to the blue one.
The blue one.
Oh, okay, no.
So just go to your union 3. You see where it says changes besides setting?
Changes.
Besides setting.
Yes, sir.
Click on there. So click it and remove that. Remove.
Oh, okay.
You see that here is showing like the change that you made. Click on there.
I'm not.
Okay. That one is okay. Sorry, not here. Go to clean 2. That's where you did your combining. Clean 2.
Clean 2. Okay.
Yeah, that was where. So go to your changes. Click on your changes. You see where it says changes. That little arrow. Yeah, open it and remove that now. Remove that because you don't need that anymore. It should fix itself.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
people returns. Okay, I've done the 3. Do I run now?
Yeah, did you configure the third attribute?
Yes, sir. I named it returns 2022.
Okay, why don't you just do the combined joining? Remember, we did another join for the whole 3, and you can run everything together.
Think, yeah.
Add the step. No, just add the step. Clean step. No, you are doing it wrongly.
How do I come?
Right click and remove, or you can do back or Control Z. Come to, in front there, that little plus in front of where you are right now, that plus, click on there, add a step. So you can call that one order. And do the same thing for people and returns, and then join them together.
Do I just move them further?
Yeah. No, we are not unioning. You can't union because you are joining 2 data that doesn't have the same structure. We just want to join in and bring in the others. You have to do join. No. Yeah, join to that. So what are you joining with here in your people? Go to your settings. You want to, yeah. So you are joining with region, okay. Now, this is going to work because everything matches. So your inner join here might work. But if you have, maybe, let's say there's a change in manager in the order date and it's not been updated in your people file, then you're going to lose some data. What did I say you should do? My advice is that you do what?
The
left join. Because your order table is the main table. Okay. So add a clean step now. And join it with the returns and configure your attribute.
No, sorry. Can I go straight to output?
Add a clean step first.
You can go straight to attribute, but for me, I like to add a step in case I need to do any kind of changes in my data. So I don't have to start manipulating my flow again. So just add a step. It doesn't cost you anything before adding your output. But if you just feel you want to add your output, you can. Go ahead.
So save to file. Excel.
So this was exactly what we did. It wasn't difficult, right? And now run
complex, but with this, it's better.
Absolutely. So just run all your flow.
No,
if you run it from there, you're only running one of the outputs. No.
This one.
Yeah, the one on top will run everything for you.
Okay, sir.
Click.
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, just go. I leave it. That ask a question.
No, what I want is, I don't know if he has chosen where he wanted it to be saved as. Maybe
yeah, he did.
The folder. Oh, I see.
Now, depending on how big your data is, this might take like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I have a flow that took almost 3 hours to run. Once I run it, I just leave it and go do something else, So don't expect that it's going to be this quick, depending on the file server and the database that you are pulling data from or where you are writing to. The latency between those server and your desktop will always affect how quick this will be. So you have your data.
Thank you, sir.
So Martins, is this a little bit, does it help?
Yes, sir. Sure, it does, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we still have some time here. Who else need help with this? I believe we can do this. I want to show something quickly before. Okay, all right. I believe we are all good on that. So now there are some tricks I want to show us here. First of all, remember we joined these return files. And in the return files here, for example, if I look here, you can see we have this return yes that says, was this product returned? It says yes. So they just all of this data here has been flagged yes. So this were our return data. But now we join this together. If I come here right now and let me look for that field here, return, for example. So we can see now here we have null value and yes. But here we don't have no null value here. So these are the returned items. So this null here, what does it represent based off of our join? What does it represent? The null values.
Empty.
Huh?
Empty.
Remember, we join our data here. In this table here, we have a field that flag all of the return as yes. So everything is yes. There's no null value. So it just shows this field here is returned. Now, when you joined, because we don't have no return, this return field in our data in this other table here, not just Tableau, any kind of database integration system or any database manipulation software. Once you join a field and there, for example, this return here is not in this order table here, it will bring everything that says yes, but also the rest that doesn't match here, it will make them as null. So here, this just means the orders that we are not returned. This is what this null value means. Remember, this was the orders, all of the orders that were placed by the customers everywhere. And then they have a separate file that track any order that was returned. So we are not trying to identify which order was returned in this order table here. So we join the order table here, and we know all of those ones that says yes is the order that we are returned. So the rest here that shows no here, these are the orders that we are not returned. It's just a trick, okay? So you don't have to worry about this. Let's say they want to see, okay, if I come to my database here right now, and I say, okay, this was my sales, and I look for this field that says returned here, returned. If I put this up here and I do this here, so I can see that out of my sales here, in 2014, I made a sales of $910,000, of which 58,000 was returned. So now you can see up here is bringing enough for me because of the join. That means this data is not in this return field. So this null here becomes my orders that were not returned. So why am I saying this? Because sometimes if you have some nulls and the user says, can you just remove the nulls? Because it means empty tables. Be careful. Those might be valid data. You have to find out why they are nulls. Okay, well, don't let this confuse you if you don't understand this trick. All right, as you go on, you will understand. All right. So if you want to know the rate of returns of our orders, all you have to do is write a calculation to say if this yes, then give me the sales and divide this by this. That gives you the rate of returns for each product. Do we get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when it comes to dates, okay, one of the reasons why I truncate this data we have to include 2022 date is a lot of time, 80 to 90% of time, you're going to be working with up-to-date data that have up to like current months. For example, if I, let me remove this. If I show the month here right now, so you can see in 2022, we have up to December data. So I purposely did this way, okay? So let's say the users want to see, there's some kind of KPI that users like to track. Dada have similar issue some time ago, and he was writing a whole bunch of calculations, and it wasn't really adding up. Again, when you have date calculation, and they are up-to-date data, it's better for you to use some of those date functions in Tableau. Okay, let's say the users want to see, for example, let me open up my Word document. They want a KPI dashboard that come on. KPI dashboard that track their week to date. Normally it's called WTD, week to date. It means this current week, how much have we sold this week? Okay, some we have like month to date, some we have like last 3 months, okay, depending, some we have like last year to date, okay. Some we even have like last 7 days sales. Last 7 days, they want to see their last 7 days. They want last 14 days. They want last last 21 days. Dada, how many days were you tracking then?
Last 180 days.
Yeah, some might say, okay,
30,
last
60,
30,
90.
last 60, last
90, 120, and
last 90, okay, last 120, only gonna know for how long, and then last 180 days. Okay, they might want all of this. Now, if you don't understand some of those date function in Tableau, you will have to write a calculation to do all of this, which sometimes the data might add up depending on how you loop your data to look between those days, and you start having some issue, and you start looking like that was doing then until he figured out the easiest way. So if you ever come across similar data like this and they want to keep track of something like this, don't fret. It's very easy for you to do. Again, I said date function or date calculation might be some of the challenging stuff that you might have out there. Like I'm having today, I'm trying to write a calculation based off for some dates that are not consistent, and all my calculation is not working. So I'm going to leave it till tomorrow, and I'm never sure it's going to work. That's just the truth. So now, how do we get our? Yeah, any question?
no, I just my
Yeah.
Ejiro will understand what I explain.
No, sir.
So let's say they want to track all of the stuff that we have here. So I'm not going to. I'll put my sales up here and do my formatting, so I don't have to do formatting at each different level. I'll just say this is my sale. I want to make this sales. Okay, I'll just leave it for now. I'll make this like 0 decimal place. And I'm going to come here, make this a lot bigger anyhow I want. Bold, let me make it Tableau bold for now. And okay, bigger, okay. And I can even do make it an entire view. So now I know I've formatted this page, so I don't have to format every other page that I'm going to duplicate. So let's start to meet our users' need. Let's start for it. Let's say they want week to date. Week to date and this last 7 days is basically the same thing, okay? So let's just say last 7 days or week to date, for example. I'll call this my week to date, and I'll bring in my other date here. And I'm going to use relative dates. I'll click next. So here you have all kinds of date range. This will save you time if you just want to do KPI based off of dates. So I can either choose day, week, month, quarters, and year. So let's say I want to do week to date. I'll click my week, and I'll do week to date or this week. Basically, this will give you the same thing, but let's stay with week to date, and let me click apply and see what it gives us. So week to date means Tableau will look at the date on your computer and calculate between the beginning of this week, which is like Sunday, yesterday, up to today, and just show you the week to date. Now, if you have to write calculation like we did, you will have to write calculation that look at the date value and take the range and before you get this. But this is very easy. Okay, let's validate this and see if this is right. So let me bring in my sales here, and let me see if we can get up to. I'll bring in my. Let me do. Exact date is going to be too much. Okay, let me leave this here. Let me reduce what we have on our view so we don't have to blow up our system. Let me just do this here. None. Let me do only this here for now. Click OK. So if I do exact dates, let me see, and let me change this to discrete. Okay, so let me bring in, okay, actually, let me just, let me remove this and let me bring in the other date again here and do the week to date range. And let me do week to date and click OK. So if you week to date here is when yesterday is 13th, right? And today is 14. So Tableau will look at the date on your laptop and add. So if we aggregate these two data together, let me add those two data together. Go to total, show grand total. So we have 14,932. So this is our week today. So this is right. So I'm just going to.
Sorry, Prof. That means week to date is not same as last 7 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
no, yes, you're right. Last 7 days, we calculate from today back to 6 days ago. So
Right.
0, -1, -2, -3, count out, yeah. So this is week to date, you are right.
And by tomorrow, it will not be tomorrow minus
another day. Okay, good. So let's do everything. I mean, everything is there for you, okay? Let's do the last 7 days and see the difference. Now, since I've already formatted the sheet, this is why it's good for you to just format, add any color that you want. I'll just duplicate this sheet here, duplicate. I'll call this one last 7 days. So I will come to my here, edit filter. So now I'm going to click on my 7 days. Now, instead of doing today, some even do today, they want to see their sales today. You can even do today. But let's say last 7 days. I'm going to click on this last, and I'll increase this to 7 days ago. Say last 7 days, and click OK. So 80 was right. So week to date, which is yesterday and today. Last 7 days, which is today, yesterday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday,
Wednesday,
up to Tuesday last week. This is our sales last 7 days. Okay, and let's do month to date. It just basically just duplicate this, duplicate, and call this one. If you want to change it to like last 14 days, you can go ahead, but let's do month to date. Click OK, and edit this and choose month, and choose month to date, and click OK. This is our sales. Let me just quickly do one because of our time, and I can do this. This one now would be to, like, let's say year to date, and I'll just change this to year filter, and I'll do year to date and click OK. Now I have this. So okay, I have 5 so far. Now on my dashboard, because this is a KPI, you can format your dashboard the way you want. Let's say I want 500. I'll bring in another container to split my view because I'm gonna add some other visualization. Now I'll just put all of my data here side by side. Oh, what did I do? That's not what I wanted to do. So I split this just to put some space, and I'll start bringing in my and you can add as much as you want because it's a KPI, and increase this. So some people might get creative with this. For me, I will hide all of this. I'll hide it. I'll go to each of the sheet. I just want to get a little bit creative. Go to this test here below this. I will now put my week to dates, and I'll just make it a little bit not too big. Let's say 10, doesn't matter. Click OK. Come to this one right here, go to the test, and call this last 7 last 7 days. Again, I'm just going to hide it a little bit, make it 10, then go to this one right here. Because KPI is good for you to get creative, okay, but it's not really, it's not a must, but just get it in a way that has some beauty so that your users can fall in love with your report. So this is how I usually do all my KPI. I don't like using the title. I'll just put it below here. This is my year to date. And click OK, and you can see right here, it's going to show up this way in my reports. And you can keep adding as many as you want. Let's say, for example, I want to add my maybe last 14 days. I can just duplicate this and make this last 14 days. I'll just increase this to 14 days. Click OK, and come to the test here and just edit this to 14 days. Click OK, and be sure I name my sheet accordingly. 14 days. And if I come to my dashboard now, I need to bring that one in here. Last 14 days, I'll just put that here, hide my title since I already have my KPI in, and you can just start adding to your KPI. Okay. Okay, this one is getting squishy. You can, if it's getting like squishy like this, you can reduce the fonts or you can blow it up. But I just want to show you how to like do some of those dates, year to date KPI if you are working with live current data. Okay, so you don't have to write any calculation. So any question on?
Question.
Yeah.
Yes. So on this dashboard, can we add filters like date filters?
You can add date filters, but let's say if you select like, for example, now let me bring in, if I go in here, filters, and bring in the other date, for example. Okay, and
the filter will not apply to everything.
No, since we are working with the last, the current year date, it might not really affect this, but if you select like last year, then all of this will disappear because these are current data, year to date. So last year data will not be here. Let me give do we get it? But you can apply other filter. For example, if I come here and I say I want to add my blah blah blah, okay, category here, click all.
Yes, I get it. What I'm saying is that we cannot say apply that date, that filter to all of those.
No,
each one of them will have their different filters.
Yes, yeah, but
Like
you can't add this. You can't add this
days.
filter. Yeah, you can't add this filter to all of them because otherwise you
will come back to the same thing.
Yeah, because this worksheet has been hard coded to this week to date.
Right.
Yeah, I asked that question because there was a project I was working on, and they wanted to see, like, after having all this, they want to be able to see when you select a specific date in the previous year, they want to see what the week to date was for that day.
Okay, yeah, that means you have to create a parameter that look at your date and just default your date filter as at that period. There's a calculation for that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a calculation for that. Okay.
Can we look at that tomorrow?
I will have to check my resources. I know I have it somewhere, but okay. Yes, I'll look. And you can even look it up. You can even look it up on your own by saying, You have to get creative and say, okay, I want a date calculation that defaults something, that defaults. I will have to come. I will have to show you guys that, because normally I just search. There was a way I searched for that, and I found that resource out. You know, but it's very possible.
It's available online.
Yeah.
I actually did it. It's available online.
Okay, all right. So tomorrow you're going to show that to us.
Me?
Yeah, you will.
Thank you, Ejiro.
Yeah. So any question on this? Any question? Look like we are not talking today. Is this one very difficult? Victor, is this difficult?
Like a lot of people have left.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
Nadia internet went off. So it's not hard, right? Just to like understand what you want to do. Susan, are we together?
We're here.
Okay. Okay, if it gets a little bit confusing, I'll try and post this video tomorrow. Try and watch it and demonstrate your hand on it, okay? Like I said, practice is going to make perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, it's 10:02, and I'll talk to you tomorrow so Ejiro can show us her magic tomorrow before we proceed.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
You have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.